started, we are going to do the tire. So you're going to want to create a document for that. And you're going to want to get a tire off a wheel. Now, here's the problem with the tire. It's squishy. So it's tough to get dimensions, but we can definitely use our brains to help make this less bad. So one thing that we can do is we can open up our wheel and see what its outer diameter is, and then use that same number for the inner diameter of the tire, because the tire goes around the wheel, right? Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to open up my wheel in another tab, and I'm going to go look at the outer diameter. When I made my wheel, the first thing I did was the wheel base. So I'm going to go into that sketch, and I can see that my outermost diameter, I use 36.9. I don't know what number you use. I really don't care. What's important is that your parts are consistent with each other. So I'm doing 36.9 because, you know, that's what I had for my wheel. If you had a different number, well, you should use your number, okay? So I'm going to now go to this, and I'm going to make a sketch on the front plane, and I'm just going to draw a circle. Okay, and if my wheel had outer diameter of 36.9, I want my tire to have an inner diameter 36.9. Now, what is the outer diameter going to be? Okay, so here's another little strategy. If you put your tire back on your wheel, then when you try and measure the outer diameter, it's not going to squish as much. Now, don't be silly. You make sure that when you do this, you don't squish it too much, because it can still compress because it's rubber. But you can get a much better measurement than if you had the tire off the wheel. So I got 51.5. So now I'll make another circle. That's the outer. And I'll mention that.
I got 41.
41.5. You get what you get, okay? And that is the basis for my tire. We're good? Yeah?
Look at me like,
Well, hurry up.
I'm done. Hurry.
Okay, your chance is over.
What? 39. 41. Second measurement again? Is that the, sorry.
Bro, you tell me.
It's like, what is it on the? Yeah. Oh,
Bro, dude, it's a ring. It has inner diameter and outer diameter.
Oh, that's what it is. We're gonna measure it?
Nah, you can just look at it. You can do it out there.
I told my first hour, I'm instituting a new rule.
No, but
I will repeat things once. If
I
I
don't like
said
this
it
rule.
more than once, I'm not saying it again.
I don't like this
Say that
rule.
again.
I'm not a big fan of this rule.
I already said it during first hour, so I've already hit my twice a day rule.
Thanks, Appleton.
Can you say that again?
Do I measure from the little design markings, like the deepest end, or like just the?
What did you say about twice a day?
Bro,
I got a genuine question.
bro, inner diameter
Yeah.
is the outer diameter of the wheel.
This is not
You're not even measuring.
like the inside.
Okay, this might be the easiest thing we've done so far.
Yeah. This,
No, I can
the
draw a
inside,
circle very
this
well. I
is
cannot
the
measure them.
outside.
No, the
Inside,
easy things that I've done before. So,
So Harry's the
But you would
easiest
measure
thing
it,
you've done.
at least the outer diameter. You would put it back.
Implying that you've done Harry I'm blind that it was measured.
Pablo,
We measured
I don't know Pablo, what happens in D&D stays in D&D.
Wait, are you
Oh,
streaming? Are you streaming?
okay.
Tap, is the stream on?
First rule of the Fight Club. First rule of D&D. What happens in D&D stays in D&D, okay?
What if somebody's really racist?
Hey.
Shockingly, we don't have racism in D&D.
Yeah.
Well, there was that one time. And it was just a one-time thing, and that person quickly was learning their lesson.
One time I got too silly, my fault, guys. They get like, I got it.
Okay, now, the next thing is we're going to extrude. Now, when I extrude, my recommendation for you would be smart about how you extrude this. Let's see if people figure this out. What might be a smart thing to do when I extrude this?
Measure. Oh.
No way.
That's a good one.
It has nothing to do with a number.
Wait, what?
Chick-fil-A. Let's see if someone figures this out.
You should add the, oh no, that's the wheel.
It is something that you can see on that little dialogue window. This is,
Symmetric.
yeah, I want to make it symmetric. That way, the front plane cuts it in half. Trust me, you're going to want this, okay? So, the height that I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use the same height as my wheel. So, for me, that was 14.3. So, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to give it a depth of 14.3. But this symmetric thing is a big deal. You're going to want it to be symmetric.
14.
So I basically have the base of my tire. And I actually rename these things.
Whoa, that is not. What? Yeah, Chad, that looks right.
If you're looking at mine for numbers, you're doing it wrong.
What am I? Honestly, I have that.
The same numbers is fine. If that's what you measured. But like you should be using your numbers. You know, my numbers. Okay, questions so far?
Oh, actually, I do have. Well, in like real life, obviously these are made out of rubber, so they like give when we put them on. So if we were actually like printing these, would we make them like a little bigger so they can actually fit? Or
Maybe. You're starting to get into materials things, right?
What?
Yeah,
Rubber stretches.
right. I know what you're saying.
So, you know, in some contexts, that would mean you'd actually make it smaller.
Yeah.
So, and then also these things are going to wear over time. So, I mean, I don't know the answer to your specific question, but in general, you have to take into account the material. You might actually make it smaller, or you might make it larger, right? It's the same thing with plastic, which is typically rigid but can bend. Like you have plastic inserts that lock into each other. What dimensions do you use, right? So that it like fits. That's one of those things, if you're into manufacturing and working on those materials, you'll have experience in. I don't know the exact answer to that, but it is something that needs to be considered. I would say for the purposes of this class, since you're not like manufacturing it, right? You're just learning how to CAD things.
Yeah.
I think you make it a little bit smaller, right? I mean, then you put it on, you put the wheel, or sorry, the tire on the wheel, on the machine, right? You know that machine where it puts the wheel on the tire? Yeah. Put the tire on the wheel.
I will say that the height looks to be pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, I've been going D1 before.
And
I'm already D1, bro.
there's like maybe a little bit of looseness on this one, but not much. I mean, I'm able to rotate a little bit if I grab it just right. You can see me, I'm rotating the tire about the wheel. It's a little loose. We're talking like a fraction of a millimeter. Fraction.
Have you ever seen like a tire machine?
No.
Have I ever seen like a time machine?
No, a tire machine.
Tire machine?
Yeah. It,
Not in person, but I've seen videos.
you know what I'm talking about? The one where it like wraps it around it and it so like puts it on. And like you got the tire that's coming up and you have the wheel, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of like squishes it down and wraps it around the wheel. And then blow air to it to get the tire on.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, I would say that you're going to want to do a fillet on the outer edges. Now, this is going to be very tricky to get exact dimension for that fillet. Just ballpark, do your best.
Like 1.1.
We're not doing the design on it, are we?
I want that attitude.
Oh my god.
You want us to fill the inside?
I mean,
too?
maybe it's a fillet of one. No, you don't fillet the inside. It's a sharp edge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do a fillet. It's a round one. Not saying it is one. Ballpark somewhere around there. And you're just gonna do the outer edges, right? It's just the outer edges. That fillet is just the outer edges.
What do you want? Wait, how much
Just the outer edges. The inner you don't fill it. That's straight. That's flush. That just makes it flush with the wheel.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now we are going to do, if you look, there's like, kind of like a seam. I don't know what other term to use. It's like a little ridge that runs the entire diameter all the way around, right? Very thin. You see that?
What side?
Oh yeah, they're like little track.
So you're going to need to get the height of that.
What? What now?
So my recommendation would
Flip it
be,
out. You can just do it. Yeah.
there's different things you can do. Now you gotta be careful with that. That's not a bad idea, although that does distort the rubber. But we're already kind of in ballpark land with a lot of our dimensions. Just use your just best judgment. Get it to be close. Something around 1 is probably fine.
Like one. Oh, the rectangle. Yeah, the rectangle.
I got 207.
No, not that. It's going up.
Wait, what?
Vertical, not horizontal.
Am I measuring the
Oh,
wrong thing here?
This? How tall it is, not how wide. Yeah.
1.3 millimeters.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on.
So
It's about 1, maybe 0.9.
the vertical ridges or the horizontal ridges going all the way around? Or the one horizontal ridge going all the way? I'm so confused. I've gotten like 3
confused.
different answers.
So,
You said the ridge is going around or the ridge is going around?
The ridge is the
Like,
vertical ridges on the inside, right?
Bro, it's a circle. There's no horizontal or vertical.
Well, the one that goes straight up and the one that goes sideways. The sideways one? Okay.
There's only one that goes all the way around the entire circle.
Well, I got like 3 different answers. I don't know. I didn't hear all the way around the entire circle.
There's only one thing that goes all the way around. There is literally only one thing.
the horizontal. 2.6 minus 3. Wait, Tim, can we just measure like.
I'm going to give it a height of 1. So, what you're going to do is you're going to make another sketch on this front plane. And this is where the power of that symmetric extrusion comes into play, because this now will also be centered on the wheel, right? So that's why that symmetric extrusion really helps. So I'm going to make another sketch here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to project the inner diameter of the tire, right? And then I'm going to draw another circle. And you can dimension from one circle to another. I can dimension between those two, and I can talk about the gap between them. And it's about 1. I mean, I'm not saying it's exactly 1, but it's about 1. Yeah, we're good. Now, you could have hypothetically done everything I've done so far using the revolve tool. You could have. I personally like extruding this part, but you could have revolved it. That would have worked as well. Would have been about the same amount of effort. About the same. Now you gotta get how thick it is.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Very thin, maybe 0.5 millimeter. And make sure that you do another symmetric, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
We're assuming it's symmetric, which may not be the best assumption, actually. I'm actually looking at mine, and I actually don't think it is symmetric.
How is it?
Look at yours. Does yours look symmetric?
For what? Yours
That
is symmetric.
seam, I don't think actually is symmetric.
Oh, the seam?
Yeah.
No,
Mine's
it's not.
symmetric. I'm looking at the top line right here. That's right. No, it's not.
Definitely not.
It's definitely.
Really?
Y'all want to try hard this?
No, let's add one more track and make it symmetric.
It's actually not symmetric, believe it or not. If you were to do this and you were to make it not symmetric, the easiest way to do this, believe it or not, would be when you do your initial tire base extrusion, instead of this being symmetric, you would actually set the direction you extrude to both, and you extrude a different distance each way. And then you would have your seam still on the front plane. That'd be the best way to do this. What?
How did you get the extrude in between the circle and the eighth and the inner?
Oh yeah.
Through this one?
Yeah.
Click on that ring.
I don't know where that's close.
I don't.
I mean, there's stuff like deep stages.
I mean, you have to draw like it's a ring. It has an inner and outer. If you only draw one, then you didn't draw a ring, you drew a circle.
How will someone miss it though?
And if he wants me to help him, he can come up here. There's one of me and a lot of you, right? That's why you have laptops or Chromebooks. Like if you want me to help you, you bring it up here. It's the same thing in all my classes. Okay, so you drew a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, click on extrude. So go click on that ring. And you can't because you didn't draw a ring. You drew a circle. That's what I just said.
What's the difference between a ring and a circle?
I mean, a ring has an inner and an outer. I mean, how did we do the first ring? We had an inner and outer circle. You have to have two circles.
Teach us.
So you drew the inner one.
Oh, we
Okay, I've
projected.
done it. And then make the other circle.
I would've got me.
I mean, it's gonna be the same size as that one.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah,
It goes to the inside of what we already have, right?
understood.
But we haven't done it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hers is true.
I did project it, right? Like it happened up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Dan didn't project it, but I caught
Okay. Okay.
it. Yeah, why don't you shut the hell up?
Wait, chat, flip that.
Tell me that. Wait.
So a second circle.
What is being cut?
Oh, is it realized you?
No, I just want to think like other stuff. Like a
You didn't draw your outer circle. You did the same thing he did.
And what do you want me to do? I'm gonna hit you on the heart.
You just
on the heart. I didn't know.
I'm gonna hit you in the heart.
What?
Oh, you're gonna do it? I'm smart. I can do it for you.
Right.
And if that's not right,
What are you cutting on this?
I'm like,
It's just plastic, right?
that's basically the same.
Unless you all want to put the metal blade on.
Still low.
Still on this. I'm still on this. I'm just.
Wait, we're not even on that part.
Yeah, I fucking realized. What?
What is this?
Wait.
This guy. What about him? Need him?
Do you not have a circular pattern for that?
I'm trying to.
Okay, but what does he get out of this? What do I get out of this?
No.
Yeah, what?
What do you mean? What? Where's my cut? Like, margin, percentages, profits. Where am I, like,
Well, we don't get cut either, so.
y'all, that sounds like a you problem. I'm worried about me. Where is my money? What am I getting out of it? Yeah. Lord have mercy.
No, we just.
These ladies want to ask you some questions, but you're not going to get paid for your time. Okay? You have to volunteer your time. You okay with that?
Refuse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Refuse.
You're a better man than I am.
No.
Wait. Hold up. There's 3 of you.
Yeah.
Good point.
We're on the same page.
You got like a whole army, bro. Like how many people does it take to do an interview? There's just like security and like cameraman,
Okay, so.
manager.
Hey, I
Don't put some.
Oh my lord.
Let's the kids do whatever they want.
I thought it was just one person. It was like her friend, just skipping class. No, it's the whole crew. They got a whole crew, and probably gonna ask this man literally one question for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They have like the whole yearbook class there. That's pretty funny. All right,
One page.
Yeah, we have,
like
you have to you have to draw the outer one too. You had to have 2 circles.
Oh my
I
god.
literally just went over, bro. Rule 2.
Oh,
I've already talked about it twice. That's it. That's my limit for the day.
Cut your fingernails. Oh my god.
Me?
Yeah.
Why? There's nothing wrong with my nails.
so intrusive. Shut the hell up.
I'm trying to do Can you live? I'm trying to help me.
You know what? You can help them.
Oh, okay, you got.
You got one.
Or you can just meme on me.
Okay, we go back to that. You
What's wrong with fingernails?
Nothing.
Nothing's done.
This guy you just.
What'd they ask you?
Here's our second ring from the middle. Do the last one. We're gonna do a
Yeah,
second,
it's just all
the total name.
Yeah,
and then
it's
stop.
Water main break, chairs are loud, cons, everything. Track is loud.
Hey,
And then what you're gonna do?
tennis balls on the chair though.
They're nice.
You're gonna-
They're nice.
Yeah, but like
Screw
you could have done
the
it the
middle
old
ground.
What type of longevity?
What?
You could have done that at the old school, but we didn't have.
So like you're gonna make.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Tennis ball is cool, but like we shouldn't have to need them, you know? But
Get that going.
we're here.
That going.
Kind of nice though.
How long do you think they're gonna
Always
last?
just easier to get.
Longer than those stupid felt things.
Well,
Like
yeah.
going to the silence
Those felt things
room.
already falling
I
off.
already saw some on the floor. I'm like, bro, dude, it's been what, a week?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
With that going.
And there was just one day walked in, I already saw multiple on the floor. I'm like, bro, dude.
One.
And you can still hear them.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, that's the real issue. I don't think it's as bad, but like you can still hear them.
In
Ruben's room still smells.
in Miss Sugar's class, if you move your chair, it goes like. You know, like people just do it all the class.
Oh, that's
Just
your
to
problem.
like.
That's all it does.
How does that not like leak over into your classroom though?
Wait, what?
You gotta help. Because I don't think it's in my room. They're not really connected that
But you
much.
kind of like share the closet. I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think it smells coming from the closet.
Yeah. Do you think it's coming up the vents? Do you think something died in the vent?
I can believe that.
I got up
Wasn't
there and
there,
I
like,
like
mice?
looked in with my phone. I couldn't see anything like right next to the vent. I
But
mean,
did
could've
it
been
smell
something.
worse in the vent?
I didn't know. Whenever I looked up there, it didn't smell. It was the day before I started smelling. But she smelled it, but I didn't smell it.
When
So
I
I
had
could
mice or something.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of ones.
So tell me, what was wrong with your nails?
Nothing.
They're long.
There's nothing wrong with
They're
them.
wrong and cut improperly.
Nice, Duncan.
You've got French tips over there, bro. I'm just saying.
What? What are those? What are those?
French tips.
Fingernails are so long, bro.
Hamilton, I think
French tips.
you have
What?
French
What?
average. Okay, how the hell do you know what that is though?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real tea
My
here.
girlfriend.
Okay,
I had
you know what?
I had-
Now I'm getting them painted.
My ex. Dude,
I'm getting them painted now.
get some part.
You know, I had a girl paint my nails in astronomy a couple years ago. Yeah, it was more like 3 years
What's
ago.
that mean?
You're showing me that.
Oh my god, Parker. Oh, you heard what he said, right?
I'm saying.
Oh
I
my
don't know why you're looking at me.
Dude. Sam, we need to move on. We need to move on.
It's time to get going.
So anyway, good talk. You should have your little lip there, or ridge, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna do I don't know how else to describe it, but they kind of have like a trapezoidal profile. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
They have like a trapezoidal profile. So we're gonna do one of them and then do a circular pattern.
Alrighty.
Okay? So I'm going to make another sketch on the front plane. I'm gonna call this the ridge.
Ridgely there.
Ridge walls are actually kind of fire.
I don't know what else to call it. Center ridge.
Which one was it?
Wait, what'd you click
I'm
on?
gonna call it Ridge. Really?
Terrible too.
So the teacher pie thing, dude. Someone told me it was gonna be like Grace.
Yeah, you're in the lead, by the way.
Is it even close?
Why is he not?
Sean said it was like a little bit close, but I looked in the bags. Why is it not?
It's not.
Are you getting pied?
I need to prepare myself then for tomorrow. It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should probably bring another
Are you
shirt.
getting
or something.
anything out of it? Or just post it said,
You know
oh,
what
yeah,
you need to do?
you get
I
pied?
guess I must have agreed to it at some point.
You need to
I don't
put it-
remember, but I guess. I
It was in one of like the 5 things they asked you to sign when they come into your room.
No, I didn't sign nothing. Although that would be funny if it's like you're signing these cards for counselors week. And I'm like, bro, I just did this. And it's like actually like a secret piece of paper. It's like a contract.
It's just folded over. So
We are not liable if you get earlobe cancer from getting pie in the face.
It's
If
okay,
you,
bring
if you asphyxiate because you had too much pie in your nostrils, it doesn't. We are not liable. Huh?
Do you find out what's wrong with your nails?
so long.
I have French tips apparently.
It does, dude. You don't look at him.
Just natural French tips.
He just doesn't cut them. It's kind of freakish.
If I didn't cut my nails, they would be all the way from here to Timbuktu. What are you talking about?
They're like, dude, they're like a solid 5 millimeters off.
You're like
But wait, let's
No,
measure.
5 millimeters, bro. You literally have calipers.
you're like those
Let's
Chinese
measure-
guys
let's
that
measure how
let
far
the-
your nails are.
Stick
your nail. Put your nail.
What do you want? My thumbnail? That's the thickest one.
Is that what you're talking about?
They should be. You didn't have any white.
About two. About
You didn't
two.
have any white. But that's past like the normal nail size.
Let's see.
Okay.
Maybe you just have a thing for nails.
I don't. It's just
Nail fetish?
That's kind of kinky.
He's really getting into this. Like
Yeah.
he's really getting into this.
These ones are mine.
You have 1, 3.
What?
2, 2.
There was nothing on there.
I'm gonna make a sketch on the front plane again, and I'm gonna draw one of these things. I really don't know what to call these things, but
What?
they got like a trapezoid profile when you look at it.
Yeah, kind of.
So I'm gonna draw or make one of them. And because it's rubber, so I don't know how much you know about manufacturing, but typically a material like this, they probably have a mold that they then inject like a molten liquid into, and then it hardens or some chemical reaction occurs to make it not liquid. And so it's not, you're not going to get like sharp edges necessarily, especially for parts that they don't care about. You can probably see the seam where like the two halves of the mold came together and things like that, right? So anyway, it's going to be very ballparky, but I am going to make a trapezoid, and I am going to make it along one of the axes. So I'm going to go here, all right, and I'm going to draw a trapezoid, but I'm not going to draw it with straight lines. I'm going to use the project tool right here. I'm going to project what's basically the top and bottom. Let me show you this right. I'm going to project what's basically the top and bottom. So this is like the top of the trapezoid.
Yeah.
And this is basically like the bottom of the trapezoid.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw my sides. My sides will be straight lines. My sides will be straight lines.
Hey, what are your sides going to be?
Triangles.
Okay.
Now, what you can do is you can use constraints to make some symmetry arguments, right? So, for example, I know that they're going to be the same length, so I'm going to use the equal constraint to make each of the sides the same. Yeah. And then I want to make them symmetric about this axis. There's different ways I could do that, but a way is I use a horizontal constraint and make these two dots lined up. Yeah.
Here.
And then if I do the same for the bottom dots, basically the only thing that I can change is like the overall width. Okay. I got a top width and a bottom width.
What?
Okay. So I'm going to ballpark measure those. It's not going to be super easy to do. just try and do your best. Okay, I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I'm getting about maybe a 2.5 or 6
We get like 1.6.
for the bottom, and for the top, I mean, I don't know, maybe 2.4. So that's like maybe 2.6, and the top distance is like maybe, like I said, maybe 2.4. You'll notice that mine's completely black. Again, those constraints did a lot of the work. I made the two sides equal. I made the tops horizontally aligned. I made the bottoms horizontally aligned. And then I decided to use 2 dimensions, basically a top width and a bottom width. It's going to be ballparky. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care. The key is you're learning the techniques to CAD, so I don't get too caught up in the dimensions being perfect. So now you can extrude this. Why are they dotted?
Did you make them construction? Did you make them construction?
Did I make them construction? I'm seeing that they're dotted.
Did you like that figure something and accidentally make them with construction?
Keep click that.
Just spam Control Z a bunch of times.
Hold on. What if I suppress that feature? Extrude. So that feature's covering it up. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, mine are done too. What'd you see?
Oh, I actually was able to select it for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. I wasn't actually able to select it. It's dashed because it's inside the thing. That's why it was dashed. And if you looked really astutely, you may have noticed that it was dashed like the same length, whereas the construction lines is like an alternate between a short and a long dash.
Hey, yeah, how did you suppress the
No, I suppressed it to check that there wasn't any issues, but I didn't have it suppressed when I did. So you just had to like make sure your mouse is in the right place. If you are struggling to select it though,
Yeah.
what you can do is you could temporarily, you probably could suppress this. You also can right click on the sketch 1 or the front plane. If you right click on sketch 1, you can choose section
What
view.
did I just do?
Okay, you can choose section view, right? That cuts it in half. And then you'd be able to do the extrusion, okay, very easily. At least I was able to. There was a moment where I was able to select it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe don't do the section view. I was able to select it without doing that.
Ow.
If you ever want to get out of a section view, by the way, you click on this camera and render options to the bottom right of the view cube, and you choose turn section view off, by the way. That's how you get out of the section view. I was able to select it from here, though. I did not actually have to go to section view. I just kind of hover over it, and there was a magic sweet spot. Oh, there it is, right there. Also, if you right-click, you can actually select other or select, and there are other things that you can work with there. But I just kind of right about there, I was able to select it.
I did it by just suppressing.
If you temporarily suppress it, select, and then
It was
unsuppress it, that works as well.
It was easy.
Oh, I didn't sketch.
It'll be red for a little bit, but that's okay. Now, you'll want to make sure you do symmetric, and then you're going to want to make sure you do the correct, I guess, width would be the correct term. Turning it inside out might be the best way to get the width. It won't be perfect, but you can do that. I got somewhere around 10.3. Probably a little bit more because I'm kind of squishing, I think. I'm going to go with 11. Not done. I got like one more thing I'm going to do to it before I pattern it.
Oh, I didn't make it sketch.
So what is Pablo doing?
He's showing back there.
Now, if you look carefully, you might notice that they're kind of angled on the edges, right? This edge right here is angled. We call that a chamfer. So you can click on chamfer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, there's different ways to do a chamfer. And unfortunately, we aren't really, because it's small and squishy, it's going to be hard to really like actually measure this correctly. But if you can imagine, I'm cutting it off, right? There's different measurements that I could use to indicate how much I cut off. So like if you do a tangent, just like put in like 0.5, for example, okay? If you just go with the default settings, okay, you can kind of zoom in there and you can kind of see what's cutting off. If you want it to be different, there's this chamfer type equal distance. You could do like 2 distances, and then you would set like how far along this vertical versus how far along this horizontal, right? So like if I put, again, I'm going to go like 0.2 and 0.5, you can see this was the 0.2, right? And this was the 0.5. You also could do distance and angle. So I could do like 80-degree angle, for example. Okay, so the distance is how far from the original corner, and then like the angle. So there's a lot of different things you can do here. This is the tangent measurement. You could also do offset measurement, and it's going to be different. Like if I change it. I'm actually really not sure what that offset does, to be honest. I'm just going to leave it on tangent. So I'm going to go with 2 distances because I think 2 distances is the easiest to measure. So you need to go with the height, and you need to go with a ballpark number of how much shorter it is. I'm going to go with 0.5 millimeter for this. And then do you remember, if you remember how much your ridge was, that would be what you'd use for the other number. I think mine was 1. Okay? And you'll do this actually for both ends. Or not. It actually won't let me do it for that. So you might have to do 2 chamfers. Believe it or not. Okay, I might have to do 2 chamfers. That's unfortunate. Or you could mirror it.
I did though.
Let's see if I can just mirror it.
I saw you though.
I don't know why it's red though. Reapply, I guess, maybe.
Did you check or did you click both sides?
I couldn't click both sides.
I know.
When I do this, and use a chamfer, when I click on it, oh, it works now. I don't know why it didn't work earlier. Okay. Well, I would like it to be a single chamfer. You really don't want to break it up. So if you can do both of them as one, you can. And then we'll just do our circular pattern tomorrow. It should be very easy to do circular pattern. You should